Welcome to the Fuck I Had Said. I'm your boy Javi, and I'm here with part of the Run It Back crew, D-Lo and Omega.
Yeah, what's going on?
And this is a new version of the Fuck I Had Said. We had did it back when we were still mixing chat, and it was me and Havoc doing it. Havoc has went in a different direction as of now. He might come and be like a guest on one of, or a couple of the episodes, or a revolving guest, we'll say.
Yeah.
But I want to start off this new The Fuck I Had Said with saying, parents, please stop forcing your kids to do the shit that they don't want to do. And when I say the stuff that they don't want to do, I mean like with all they heart don't want to do, like genuinely don't want to do, not the stuff that kids are like, I don't want to do it, you know. But like when it comes to, like, for example, my niece isn't a hugger. So when she was born, like, and of age to where she could like say yes and no, I would be like, can I have a hug? And she would either not say anything and just like cower real shy and look at me and smile, or she would tell me no, and I wouldn't force her to hug.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I was to force her later on in life, she'd feel like she had to do that to everyone. That was like a given thing. I have to hug this person. There's no about it, you know?
Yeah.
And then that translates to other things in life. And the reason I say that, and I say that with so much conviction because the fuck I had said, is because I just feel like it builds a yes man or a yes woman when you don't allow them the option to say no. And from experience, because I feel like I grew up as a yes man or a yes person. And then when I realized that I was a yes person, I started saying no.
Yeah.
And I started to see how people would react to my no. And it's no shade, no tea towards my mom. My mom, she definitely made us do this we didn't want to do, and even if we genuinely didn't want to do it, like I didn't want to go to my granny's house, but honey, you went to your granny's house.
Yeah.
I see you Sunday night.
Right.
So and that's one of the instances where I said, like, no, you force your kid to do that. They need to spend time with their grandparents. Parents got shit to do too on the weekend.
Yeah.
They need to let their hair down, shake a little ass if they want to, go out, have a drink, sippy sip, lippy lip, whatever it is.
Facts.
Yeah. But how do you feel about me saying that as a parent, Omega?
Well, I could kind of see where you're coming from, mainly because in the example that you stated, it's really more kind of like teaching them at a young age they're like not allowed to have boundaries.
Yeah.
And that's not right. But then of course too, like on the guidance side of stuff too, is like, well, obviously the grandparents aren't going to be around forever. And it's like, sometimes you might be like, yeah, yo, you need to go just to get the experience in, because they may not understand the value of that.
And that's why I said, like, in that instance,
yeah,
no, you going to your granny's.
Yeah. And to the same extent too, it's like, well, when it comes to like the basic shit, it was like, oh, I don't want to do chores. No, you gotta fucking do chores. You want an allowance, you can do chores. You know? And so on. But yeah,
you want to live in this motherfucker rent free? You gonna do some chores.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I agree with what you're saying, because like, yeah, when it comes to stuff like that, it's like, what are you really teaching them?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, but again, that takes a little bit of depth on.
And it's subconsciously. It's not something that like a parent's deliberately doing. It's just like be mindful of respecting your children's boundaries too, because just because they're children's doesn't mean they don't have boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then that can also lead to other things which I really don't want to think about. And I think,
exactly. It's like you don't want to open them up for potential negative interactions because they were taught to not have boundaries.
Yes.
You know, and then that'll just land you in all kinds of
a whole nother ball game.
Yeah, because in many ways, like, because there are people out there, not necessarily just like sexual predators and things like that, but people who just have a predatory mindset.
On the mind, yes. They can prey on the mind and just have control.
Yeah, exactly.
Of somebody, yeah.
So on the real, it's like, yeah.
Quit telling your kids to do shit or making them do the shit that they don't want to do. D-Lo, How do you feel about that statement? You are not with child. I am not with child. The only one on this panel right now is Omega. But how do you feel about that?
We've all been children, so
yeah, we've all been children.
We know.
But the first time I told my mama no, she looked at me.
See, I'm a little indifferent with that. Like, it was more like, I was raised like, no matter what, you obey your parents.
Me too.
But I also was taught through my grandparents and other relatives and
being forced to go to his grandparents' house. Period.
Oh no, you was never forced me to go to my grandparents.
Oh, you was
no, yeah, I was.
He said he much rather be there than at home.
The place to be.
But through their eyes, like, I always taught that you can't be a people pleaser, and that goes with being a yes man or a yes person. You know what I mean? Like so like you're not gonna please everybody, so don't try.
And I'm telling you, from elementary school all the way through high school, even part of the little piece of college that I did, and even part of my adult life, I have been a people pleaser.
See,
and it got so tiring at the age of 33 when I woke up.
See, I
2 years ago,
I tried to be a people pleaser until I got to 8th grade.
Yeah. Well, let me not say 33. It was
when I got to 8th grade and I had to go to a private Baptist boarding school.
Oh yeah, that'll wake you up.
That's when I learned the hard way. You're not gonna please everybody. You ain't everybody's cup of tea, and you gotta drink me.
I would say that I was probably in like my mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
And then I got into a marriage where I was pleasing.
And so I got to the point to like where I did have things I didn't want to do with with family. And they respected that. But if it comes without a family or, and also too, I'm also been raised on, family don't stop at blood.
Yeah.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So it's like, y'all my family.
Right.
But.
Oh, don't make me blush. But no.
But like outside of that, like I didn't care. Like if it didn't please you, I didn't care.
Facts.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
so you kind of agree with what I'm saying, like just as far as like don't force your kids to do the things if they genuinely don't want to do it, and you can see that they genuinely don't want to do it. Don't force them to do it.
It just all depends on what it like I said. It just depends on what it is. Now if it's like if it's something small, I wouldn't sweat it. Yeah. But if it's like, helping around the house or like being told to do something. Yeah. You know what I mean? Then I always had to be like, okay. So
now if you're told to do something by your parents, it's not gonna be like, you better hug that person or you better.
Oh no, I'm sure there's some people out there that would do that. You better hug your grandma. Blah, blah.
And if you one of them people, you need to stop. The fuck I had said.
But so I don't know. So that's why I'm indifferent with it. Like it just all boils down to be a people pleaser, and I just was taught you're not going to be able to please everybody. Yeah. So
maybe that's something that the parents need to teach their kids is you're not going to please everybody. Yeah. Who you are and what you do in life is not going to please everybody, and you're not there to please them.
Yeah, because I mean that's the one thing people don't tell their kids. Like they want to be best friends with their kids and all that, but they're like they don't like some like especially nowadays parents like they want to be their best friends, and like that's why kids have a lot of best friends, but they only have one parent. Parents, you know what I mean? Like one set of parents. Like
you got to have that boundary.
Yeah, like it. So I don't know, like it's a weird subject. Not saying
it's a weird subject.
It's not.
Either agree or you don't.
I mean, I think really being a circumstantial thing.
Yeah. Like yes, it's circumstantial, and I do understand like the references that me and him brought up, like the not making them hug somebody, but when it comes to like your grandparents' house or doing chores, or I need you to run to the grocery store and take my keys and go to the grocery store, like that's something that you're being told to do and you're going to do it. But when it comes to like, I need you to go and buy me cigarettes at the store, that's not part of my morals. So if I tell you no, don't force me to go buy you cigarettes.
Yeah, that's different.
Or if you like,
but like as you said, like the hugging, I don't know about the hugging because that goes with inside of like if it's somebody you care about, you get to like, what if you don't ever get to hug that person no more? You know what I mean?
That's something you have to live with. But at the same time, if you don't feel comfortable hugging and your child doesn't feel comfortable hugging somebody, why would you force them to hug that person?
Yeah.
Like my example with my niece, we're blood. Like I love that little girl with all my heart. But if she tells me she don't want to hug me, I'm not gonna force her to hug me. Because that's either going to make her cry and not want to be around me. When I do force myself to hug her, she gets uncomfortable with that, and then she don't like me.
Or even worse, like the parent being like, "Go hug them," but like, "Well, if she's not comfortable, I'm not gonna like have you make her
hug me." Like I'm not. Go do a thing. I ask her again later. Okay. Yeah, but now, a year later, she hugs me every time she runs up to me and hugs me. Because I gave her that yes or no. I think she saw that I respected that she didn't want that at that time. And now I'm like, hey, Niecy. And she runs up.
Yeah.
Or I say, hey, Niecy, can I have a hug? And she runs up and hugs me with a smile on her face.
Yeah, so she came
My nephew still don't hug me. Well, one of them's a baby, but the other one, he still won't hug me. And that's okay. But I think that's for another reason, but that's for a whole nother story. But that's a whole nother parenting. No, just play. But this it's just been something that I've thought about for a really long time. Like as far as like just growing up and the things that we did as kids that like we were either told to do that wasn't right, or we were put in a situation where we had no choice.
Yeah.
But to witness it, partake in it, or be forced into some way of doing something that we didn't want to do, which kind of made an impact on us growing up.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we come back in just a second, I talk about something a little different. We're going to spin it off into something else. All right. We'll see you in a second. All right. And if you missed us before, welcome back again to the Fuck I Had Said. Because if you haven't heard it and you hearing it from me, it's the Fuck I Had Said. But to switch it up a little bit, I want to talk about the perfect age of music. Okay? You follow? Are you following what I mean when I say the perfect age of music?
Elaborate.
Like, to you, what is the perfect age of music? Is it the 90s? Is it the 20s? Is it 1811? Is it 2000s? Is it current?
Yeah, I think most people are probably going to say what they grew up listening to. Everybody's like the 90s was the greatest.
Really?
Or, I mean,
would you say that the years that you were a kid were the greatest times of music?
To an extent, but that's mainly because I feel like 90s music was the culmination of a bunch of other genres of music kind of falling in upon themselves. And what I say is, it's basically kind of like you had rock, like classic rock, and all these different genres that were kind of like offshooting of it. And then it got to a point where like alternative came onto the scene because a lot of other stuff had been done before, and there was like an ebb in certain areas. So people started, kind of coming up with something new. And then hip hop was changing as well at the same time. They had their own direction that they were going with stuff, which was a pretty big shift from what came before, like in the late 80s and everything. And then you also had like different stuff that you would not have thought of initially, like a swing revival. And because I don't know if you're familiar, like Squirrel Nut Zippers and like Cherry Poppin' Daddies and like all that shit that happened in the 90s. You remember?
So like you would say that 90s was that era of music where everything started to explode on the scene.
It was kind of like a culmination because
it was the melting pot. The 90s was the melting pot.
Because the millennium was coming and everybody was shitting themselves over that. And
it's the end.
It feels like it's where a lot of our culture from that 100 years came to like a peak, and it was like everybody was shoving all different kinds of shit in all at the same time.
The fuck you said?
Yeah, and there was a wide variety, as opposed to what I feel like it has become, to where I won't say stuff is stagnated, but it's become kind of homogenous to where it's very, very similar. Even like the different genres have become similar because there's like a lot of overlap. And because it's not like it once was, like things used to be like separate in their own ways.
Every genre had its place.
Yeah, and now like it can be both good and bad depending, but nowadays, like it's just.
Did Beyonce pop in your head?
No.
Okay.
Look on your face.
If y'all could see me in this studio, I had glared over at D-Lo when he said the genres are starting to like blend. I'm looking over at D-Lo because his face kind of went a little different. I'm like, I know this motherfucker ain't sitting over here thinking about Beyonce right now. I've been ready. No, I'm just playing.
I mean, it's
sorry for interrupting.
Yeah. Oh no, you're good.
It's kind of like what Omega said. It's kind of like different, like what you grew up with. Like I grew up in the 90s myself. And I do I love the 90s. Like as far as like the era that was like sports was great, TV shows and all that. Just the feel of the 90s was a good time. Being a kid.
But do you feel like in the 90s we're really still listening to music that was before the 90s? So does that mean that
but that's what I'm saying. Like I grew up. I grew up on classical music where I played piano. I grew up on 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. You know what I mean? Like I grew up.
So it's not technically your era of music, like your childhood era of music solely, but that's majority of what you listen to.
Yeah, I just
So that old timey music made your adult self envisioned in your child's mind, and then you listen to the music of your time too. I don't know.
I feel like in the 90s, a whole bunch of other prior years, like the 50s, 60s, so like the influence was still there. Like it had rubbed off on everything that was happening.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I can agree. I can still see the bell bottoms.
Yeah, that's what like I think about that when like the flower power shit was still kind of like present.
Yeah. And yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That right there itself is a loaded question, because it's like
no, it's not.
I mean, you do.
Because other people like
me,
ask somebody's grandparents in 90s is
no,
not
and that's why I wish we had Cha Cha here, because he would be going off about the 80s right now.
Yeah, he would.
You know what I mean? So for me, music was just like, music was a lot of things for me. So I loved, like, in different eras, you could still find something that was relatable to you.
Yes, the fuck you had said.
So it's hard to say what era is the best for music, because it
depends on what the music done for you.
Yeah, like I remember being at my grandparents' house and listening to country and listening to bluegrass and that type of stuff and enjoying it. But then I go to my mom's. My mom, she's a 70s kid.
Yeah.
I go to my dad's.
My mom's a 70s kid, and she would say the late 80s to early 90s music is the best.
Yeah, my mom's a straight disco kid.
See, my mom.
My mom loved disco era. But
for me, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But like if I go to my dad's, my dad, like classic rock, 60s, even in the 50s music, 80s rock, 90s. It was a mixture of things.
So where'd you get the hood hip hop swag from? That must have been school.
Yeah, but I mean, no. Well, I grew up with that too. Like even my brother, he listened to hip hop.
Okay,
he listened to.
I forgot
rock.
you had an older brother.
Yeah, and my younger brother, we all like meshed together, and and then my cousins and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay, for me, and it's gonna sound wild. I like a little bit of music from every genre, every like decade. I mean, I'm not saying like every decade, because you go back and anything past the 50s. I mean, lower than the 50s.
Right.
I couldn't tell you nothing about. But 50s and up to today, there is some artist or some song or some beat or something from each one of those eras of music that I'm like, oh damn, I don't like. You listen to something, a song from the 50s, and it's like, oh damn, you don't hear that nowadays. And it can be the beat, it can be something in the beat, it can be a hesitation in the person singing or how they're singing it. And then I would say that the best time for music for me would probably be the same as my mom's, the late 80s and early 90s, but I can see the greatness that people seen in the other parts of those, in the other eras. I can see like glimpses of it, because like I wasn't born in the 50s, so I can't relate, but like a good beat to get me to a little you know what I'm saying? And I was doing mariachi music. I don't know why. I just started, it was like carnival music. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know why that's what I chose to do, because there was a lot of clowns in the 50s. I ain't gonna hold you. But yeah, I enjoy music as a whole. So for me, it's a wide range of places, or when I say places in time where they had great music. Because even if it might have been short lived, but it was great music.
Because even if you look at it like,
I'd be scared to dance to it on TikTok though, because I feel like people look at me weird. This black dude doing 50s music.
Because like I even can go back in music and listen to like
Beethoven. Come on now, he be busting.
Like the 1920 jazz scene. The brother, the movie Oh Brother Where Art Thou.
Yes,
I love that soundtrack.
I do too.
But it's just,
that's what I'm saying.
There's a lot of so that's what I'm saying. Like it just like in some of those, and even in some of those songs, like you can still like even in the 50s and stuff like that. Like if you listen to it, there is a lot of relatable stuff still to this day that they talk about in those songs, because that's the one thing about history. History always tends to repeat itself.
And the thing is, like, people don't realize, but like when you listen to like early Aretha, early Michael, early Tina, like those are not from the era that you saying is the greatest era of music. Like those are from different eras of music that you can see the greatness in that era. So I can't sit here and say, oh, I think that my era was the greatest era, because there's greatness in each era.
And that's what I'm saying. Like
it's
even
just the 90s is where I was raised, and that's what I heard the most, so that's what I fucks with.
But and then that's what I'm saying. Like I love the 90s. Like it was, I do feel like it was a great time to grow up in, and there was a lot of great things with the 90s.
I think the 90s was the big bang for music.
But
can we say that?
But I can't really sit there and say that specifically. Like, okay, 90s is my favorite. I love music. You know, so even though in high school I kind of closed myself off and I got just got in like
you got emo,
tunnel vision.
No, I got tunnel vision and underground.
Okay.
and underground music.
And who brought that to you?
As actually when I
didn't meet him till high school.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like fisticuffs.
Mm-hmm.
He brought me into the world of like Juggalo, ICP, and all that type of stuff, underground music.
And did he give you an option? Yes. Do you want to listen to this music, or no? Do you not?
It was just I just kind of was around, and then I was like, oh, what is this? You know, this is dope.
Okay.
You know, and
He caught the residual.
yeah,
I don't think he caught what I was throwing out. I don't think neither one of y'all caught what I was throwing out.
no.
So he didn't force you to do something that you didn't want to do.
Right. Yeah, no,
He's like, oh no, I want.
I was rewinding it back to
no. Like it was something I was around listening to it, and I was like, oh yeah, well, that's dope. You know,
Listeners, they still don't get it, but it's okay. We gotta move
no,
forward.
we got it. It didn't go over our head.
Yes.
Nobody forced
it
me to
did.
do nothing.
I have to recant and go back.
Nothing can go over my head. I'm too fast. I'll catch it.
Okay. Y'all heard that, didn't y'all? Clock it. But yeah, that is something that when I ask certain people that question and they tell me, oh, it's the 90s.
Yeah.
I'm like, so what music did you listen to in the 90s? Oh, and they started naming off songs, or they start singing music, and they're like A, B, C, and I'm like, yeah, that wasn't 90s.
Yeah,
No shit.
That was not 90s. Or like something like Proud Mary, keep on. That's not 90s.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not us.
yeah.
That's not. It's great because it was still relevant at that time, so that means that it was great of its
Yeah.
era. But
That
that's
was
not us.
classic in the 90s.
It was facts.
Yeah.
So just because it was classic in the year that you was born or in that era doesn't mean that it's of that era. So I implore people to go back and think about the music that you really enjoy and look to see what year it was born, because the next time somebody asks you like, oh, what era of music do you think is the greatest? Make sure you say in the right era.
Yeah.
The fuck I say.
And
Oh, yeah.
And I'll stand by what I said. There's just, for me, there's no great, there's no particular great era of music that's all great.
Yeah.
I could tell you my least favorite. Honestly, I could tell you that. But
Anything before the 50s for me.
no, it's about the 2010s. As far
Right.
as like,
That's your least favorite?
yeah.
Why?
That's why I said, like, in that time I was in a lot of underground stuff, so
Oh, okay.
I didn't listen to like
You was just out of tune with it.
yeah, I didn't listen to a lot of mainstream stuff.
You get that out of tune with music.
Aha, aha.
Period. Thank you so much. Okay, shut up. It's my time to shame. The fuck I had said. The fuck I had said. Thank you so much. I didn't know we had a live audience in this bitch. But anyways. Yeah, I just think that for me, that's why I asked y'all the question to see if y'all was going to give me a particular era of music that you felt was great. But like I said, I think that like the 90s was great for music because it was like I refer to like the big bang of music. That's when all music was starting to come out and explode. And then you had countless supplies of music from any genre, new genre. I didn't even know about this genre. What is this music? Hold on, wait, that beat sounds like that. Oh wait, why did it stop and start back up? Or why did they just talk singing and there's no music behind it? Wait, it sounds like there is music. Oh no, they're singing a cappella. Like the 90s was that era to be alive and experience the overload of music that was coming out.
Yeah.
Because you could grasp on to a new genre or find other genres that you really clicked with too, and not just the one that your parents listened to.
And actually, I'm gonna rephrase that. Actually, I would have to say the 2020s music, as far as like rap and stuff, is my least favorite. The mumble rap, mumble rap and all that. Like people have
I felt like a rapper for 2 seconds.
like people have no substance in their stuff. They're just
In the names.
I feel like, okay,
There's a lot of love.
follow me.
It's a lot of love. When they gonna grow up?
In the
When?
90s, things were exploding, kind of as you said. Like people, it was part of the evolution of a bunch of different genres of music.
Mm-hmm.
But also, as technology was advancing, this was before like the Spotify and all that stuff. So I think as it's come to be, is we lived through, at least it seems, one of the last great eras where there was an abundance of possibility, as opposed to as it's gone past 2010, more stuff has become under the umbrella of like the big corporations, music corporations and everything. So it's kind of
you gotta fit this mode. If your music doesn't sound like this,
and then statistics and all this different stuff, and blah blah blah. So I also feel like that is a contributing factor to how things have kind of like the overlap, and then just kind of like I said, this homogenous vibe.
And I feel like a lot of new artists aren't making themselves known because they just feel like their music's not gonna be what everybody else likes because of the stigma of what's out there.
Well, but I also feel like the industry lowers the bar a lot of times intentionally, because then it's like it's easy to scoop up and like chew somebody up and spit them out because you have like a million other artists that sound the fucking same because they've lowered the bar. What they're doing isn't necessarily hard. So, and
they just trying to find that one great piece of
or
voice.
I mean, by comparison, I think it was Billy Corgan who said before in an interview that when they got picked up, like Smashing Pumpkins and everything back in the day, like they were told one thing on the very beginning when they first got picked up, like about how great they were and like how awesome things were and blah blah blah. And then as time went on and they kind of got further into it, then there were people that were kind of like constant naysayers about like, well, you can't do this because of that, or this isn't possible because of that. He was like, why are you going to spend all this time telling these artists that they're so amazing and then turn around and doubt everything that they're fucking creating?
Yeah.
You know,
that's crazy.
But I think it's a psychological thing just to kind of like to
beat you down to build you up.
Make talented people feel vulnerable so that you can take advantage of them. Because it's like if you got a million other people in line that are total shit, and then you're getting the opportunity with real talent, and because you're comparing yourself to them to some extent, be like, I know I'm better than X, Y, or Z.
Facts.
But then they're trying to belittle what you're doing so that they can basically exert some form of control,
capitalize off of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
I lost what I was gonna say.
I was about to say, is he about to wrap up my segment real quick? I felt like that's where it was going. So
I had something to say, but I just
couldn't
say. I just lost it.
It's all good. Well, if no one else has anything to say or add to the conversation, it don't matter because it's the fuck I had said. And if you haven't heard it from anybody else and you're just now hearing it from us, it's the fuck we had said. And we hope you enjoyed this segment, and I will catch you next week. See you soon.
Peace.
Laters.
Bye. Shit.